Proper pick and placing begins with the printer understanding your file. And this tutorial will show you how to configure the actual setup of your pick and place file so the printer can parse it properly and understand everything that's in it. In the pick and place configuration screen, you can click the Run Pick and Place File Setup that will bring up this dialog box. First thing that you have to do is tell the printer how you want your file to be parsed. By default, it will go with an automatically selected parser. Those settings are usually good. There are some other options which we will cover in a later video. Once the printer knows how to parse your file, it will go and give you a list of headers. It's matching the appropriate header in your file to a specific header that the printer understands. For example, every part needs a specific name, and in this particular file, the header that we used to represent those names was reference. Every pick and place file will need an X location and a Y location. In the original file, they were called position X and position Y, but they may be something else on your files. So we have our original X and Y information selected for those headers here. This process repeats for all of the different headers that are required. There's a rotation header which specifies the rotation of the part relative to the footprint definition. There's the actual name of the footprint that will be used for the part. And then there is the value. For example, 0.1 microfarads or 22 microfarads. If you have additional columns that are unneeded, you can mark them as ignore and the printer will ignore them. If you make a mistake, you'll get a warning. In this case, what I did to get this warning was I set 2 selections as the footprint column. And now the printer is telling me that I have a duplicate header and the location is the 2 footprint selections. It's also telling me that I'm missing the header name that I changed. Once you've set up your headers, the printer needs to know what the footprints of your parts look like. There's 2 basic ways to describe a footprint. The first one is very simple. You click on a part, and then you click on the pads that are connected to that part that make up the footprint, and then you click Save Selection. Now we can see that the component is displayed in blue, which means it now has a footprint associated with it. We can see that there's this microcontroller here, and select all the pads that go with it. If you want to select and deselect quickly, you can hold the left mouse button down and drag it over all of the associated pads. This is so you don't need to click on each one, you just need to have the mouse button pressed as you move over them. If there are no pads, we can simply mark it as a fiducial, which I don't have any fiducials in this design, so I won't be doing that. Continue by marking all of these with their appropriate footprints. Here you'll see that I just marked one and a bunch of them just turned blue after because they all have the same footprint. You only have to mark a footprint once, and the printer will remember that footprint for all of your subsequent designs. Now, for example, if you realize that there is a mistake or that you have a footprint with a slightly different size in another design, you can select the part and then click the trash can icon to delete the footprint. The software will clear that footprint from the printer's memory. To show you how quick this process is, I am deleting all of these footprints and then adding them back in. Now that all the footprints are defined, we can move on to the next section.